Beetlejuice, the 1988 horror comedy starring Alec Baldwin, Gina Davis, young Winona Ryder and Michael Keaton, and directed, of course, by Tim Burton. And it wouldn't be a stretch to say peak Tim Burton. I think that the late 1980s and early 1990s really were his time, where he already found his unique filmmaking voice, but hasn't yet gone off the cliff where he remains to this day, sadly. So the story is that Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis are a young married couple that recently moved into a large old house in a small town. And they're still in the process of decorating and renovating it when they have a fatal car accident. However, they then find themselves back in the house as ghosts. They are unable to interact with, they are able to interact with parts of it, but they cannot leave. They are not able to do that, which quickly becomes a problem when a new, completely unbearable family moves in. The ghosts try to get rid of them by scaring them off, but that proves to be impossible because, save for the daughter, nobody can actually see them. And eventually, against all advice, they enlist the help of an evil or maybe just chaotic spirit called Beetlejuice. So the film lives on to this day as this sort of comedy classic, and I think rightly so. It has aged really well, mostly because the jokes and the memorable characters themselves are more or less universal. They're not really tied to a specific time period. It also certainly helps that the special effects, which are a blend of CGI and practical, still look quite well. The CGI part maybe brings it down a notch by looking a bit grotesque, but the practical ones are still terrific. And even in this blended imperfections of the two, they create that kind of unique Tim Burton look and style that we all know. The best part of the film for me are the performances. All of the actors are great, with the absolute standout performance by Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, back when he was still mostly a comedy actor. I heard that when he was, a couple of years later, when he was cast as Batman, fans were outraged. Much like the years later casting of Heath Ledger as the Joker, most of the people thought that Keaton was not a good fit for the role, that he wouldn't match what was required for the character. He was not intense enough. And he of course proved everyone wrong, but watching Beetlejuice, it's very easy to imagine where those doubts came from, why people would cross him out. He brings this sort of manic electric energy, playing the part like he's a psychotic bum on cocaine. He chews the scenery, but that's part of his charm, and he manages to steal every scene he's in. And there's surprisingly not that many of those scenes. For a titular character, he's very much just on the side of the story. That's, that he weirdly enough also, while being on the side, fulfills several crucial roles in this story. He is simultaneously a comic relief, a plot device, and also sort of a villain. But Beetlejuice, the character, certainly did become iconic enough as a result, and it's easily recognizable to this day. And through the character, I think that the whole film is elevated. Solid piece of cinema.